All right, everyone, I want to welcome you back. This is the Cultivary Draft League recap content, and we're going to be covering all of our finals and crowning winners. I'm Dr. Geo, with me is,
P McGee.
and it's been a wonderful season. We've had some ups and downs. We've had some certain admins make their way further than they should have. Badmins, I should say. But
Admins and masters. We'll get back to this though.
but we have kind of whittled down to our top six coaches between all three divs, and all three of these are most excellent games. I think in the future I want to cover these live to some extent.
Oh, I would really like to cover these live.
But right now the schedule just doesn't work out for that. But hopefully for season 2 we'll be able to do that. We'll talk more about season 2 at the end of the video.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's kind of pop into this. So our first matchup is for Initiate, and it's Rock up against Gradual. And Gradual has been the top performer all season long since he took over in week 2 or 3, I don't remember.
I believe it was week 2 for an
So he took over in week 2, and it's just been, total top dog. And Rock took over for a team in like week 4 or 5.
Yeah, it wasn't a team with a good record. It was like a 1-3 or a 2-2. Like it was definitely low middle.
And even then, Rock took a little bit to get going. Like dropped a game or two after took over, and so kind of snuck into playoffs as a 7 seed. Well, here he is in finals, so he was able to, still perform and make his way through. And so now we're left with this finals matchup, and I'm gonna go ahead and announce Rock's team. He has the Mega Deontay, Spectrier, the Rotom Wash, the Bronzong, the Dragon Knight, and the Crocodile.
And then on Gradual's team, we've got the Keldeo, the Licky Licky, the Tapu Koko, the Mesprit, the Volcanion, and the Fortress.
So this is like a pretty interesting matchup, but I feel that way with any Volcanion teams, because like it's a spawn that like just dishes out damage. Like it's hard to switch into it. Bulky Waters is like your best bet, but then those don't do anything back,
Yep.
And here, like, what's your switch in Rotom Wash? Kinda. And I guess you can always Volt Turn out, but you're still gonna take chunked, and you'll eventually get burned or toxic.
I would really, on Rock side, I would love to see Diamond Storm Body Press
To handle the
Mega Deontay, Licky Licky, because Licky Licky does, it's going to be a very Spadef heavy Licky Licky. Like, it's also doing double duty here to manage Spectrier, and it's the only Spectrier answer. And, barring, I think, probably like AV Mesprit, there's not really a switch in for Mega Diancie. So, a mixed set with like Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Mystical Fire, and then like Body Press.
I think that's right. That would put in a ton of work.
That pressures Licky Licky really hard, and then if Licky Licky goes down, then Spectrier literally button clicks. There's no
Licky
resist.
Licky does have steel coverage though, so you gotta make sure you're actually gonna KO.
Yes, yeah, you have to see the calcs on that, but like it's not a bad spot to be in, and Mega Diancie can definitely. There's the calcs probably there at +2 to kill with Body Press.
Probably. As long as you're not naive or whatever the minus.
Yeah, you need the minus Spadef one.
Yeah.
You should be, depending on the calc.
I think it's naughty.
Naughty nature. You don't see that one too much.
Oh. Conversely though, like Rotom's, Rotom and Bronzong are a big deal here, that they need to be able to keep Keldeo and Volcanion in check so it doesn't break, because like Kogo can clean up just as well as Horse can here. So alright, we're gonna just pop into this match. 3, 2, 1, get it. So we have a Crocodile lead going up against Keldeo. That's really unfortunate for leads. Just decided to tank the flip turn.
Really bold.
Yeah.
It's so obvious Crocodile has to believe that you feel so safe to flip turn on, so by not fleeing, he actually gets a lot of utility out of that.
I'm not a big fan of like trading all of this on the Krook though for basically the fortress. You're not getting
Yeah.
rocks up or anything, and you just traded for the fortress. So
Yeah, and Fortress was the, but I guess I could see the
I
issue. You
really
have to
like
go
the
fire.
taunt, but yeah, I guess what do you bring in on it then? Brongzong.
Hmm.
Oof,
Yeah, this
that
misses,
toxic miss is really tough here.
misses again. Really rough because with the protect, you really could have stalled PP. It looks like it's heat proof Bronzong, so it finally gets
Yeah,
the hit.
dang. That's like probably like six
Protect.
turns, unless
If I'm,
gradual
he
switches out
should,
early there. Like
yeah.
if that first one hits.
Oh, absolutely. It puts a lot more pressure on the Volcanion, who now can take a Volt Switch a little easier, because you don't want to necessarily send Licky Licky in on a Volt Switch. So that matters, because obviously Volcanion would be dead right now. Solar Beam, good Volt Switch to
Yeah,
not get hit
no,
by the
good
Solar Beam.
tech. In case you wanted to set up or something, they're expecting a switch.
But yeah, losing Bronzong here is tough, because Bronzong just has no utility in this match anymore. It's just too low in health.
Yeah, and nothing else is gonna switch into that Thunderbolt.
No, not at all. And then a missed dual wing beat because he hasn't been
Worse.
punished enough. Thunderwave doesn't really matter. Rotomba's never getting paralyzed by that. Free Volt Switch here, which is helpful. Gets Dragonite in or Mega Diancie. Spectre is
I
an interesting switch in. I don't know that I like that.
Hyper
Um,
Beam. Interesting, but like I still don't like it.
I don't like it either. Loses the specs, and then see you lose Spectre here for not
Nothing
anything.
basically. Yeah, I wish all health comes back.
I get the tilt that's going on with Rock, though. It's been a pretty frustrating start to this match where you've
Yeah,
lost pieces because of some rough RNG. And then Rotom, I think, is going to click like Discharge here. Oh, double Nasty Plot, actually.
maybe
Um,
Hydro Pump. So I don't think it's Thunderbolt.
oh my god. And Hydro Pump misses, and then so Rotom
uh,
dies.
yeah, that's really rough. Do we go for the D dance? No, probably just on full tilt.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Yeah,
Um, Spectre comes in on a forced sack because you're forced to. Keldeo is going to come in, which forces you back in with Dragonite. You go for the dual wing beat here,
or
which,
the
if
or
I
the,
recall correctly, it does hit. Okay, that's good.
yeah, it's this one.
Jesus.
Misses.
Which then takes Dragonite's health all gone, which makes it just a auto win for Keldeo.
Yeah, Caldea just or Coco too. Doesn't really matter. There's a comment in the chat that you can't see. Dual wing miss.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
accurate. Rock Polish Diancie, because that's all you can really do, but
yeah.
you
You
need a
need a
crit
crit,
here.
but like I'm pretty sure it was Scarf Caldeo, so it doesn't matter.
And it's
Or
Gyro
yeah, I
Licky
mean you're
Licky
faster.
with full
Yeah.
health.
Oh yeah. The Licky was at full health, so that's what really doesn't
Yeah.
matter because you're faster than the Scarf
Um,
Caldeo.
so
Um.
Gradual earned his win throughout the season. He did not necessarily earn it in this match in particular. You know,
You
RNG
don't you
Jesus
don't you don't you
decided
don't
the
get
winner
the
here.
you don't pick the RNG against you.
No, you don't. You don't at all. And he had a good prep. He had a good game plan. But you could really feel the tilt by Rock by the end of that match because it was otherworldly. How many moves were missing? So
Four free turns I can think of off the top of my head. Two missed
five
toxics and then
because he
two
missed a
missed
Hydro Pump too.
and the missed hydro pump. That's
Uh,
rough. That's
yeah.
really rough. But
So you know,
them's the
congratulations
breaks.
to Gradual,
He is our initiate season 1 champion.
the very first division champion for the Cult of Larry in Draft League.
So congratulations to Gradual. We're gonna tech.
Congrats,
We're gonna graduals. Anywho, that was bad.
Graduals.
Anywho, we're gonna move on to our second match of the day. This is between A12 and Black. This is for our Disciple. Now, Black has kind of been at the top of his game all season, only dropping one game regular season. Whereas
By one
A12,
differential.
yeah, and A12 on the other hand, started things off with a meme. He drafted first Larry and then Gary. So, in a lot of ways, we got to root for him. We're like contractually obligated.
Yeah, and he was even kind enough to come back at the very end and pick up
Gary.
Carey to
Yeah.
get the trifecta.
His team saw a little bit of revision somewhere along the way where he has the current form now, and then he started winning with it, and that's a Megazard Y. But like he has like 4 flying types on his team. You only see 3 of them here, but it's wild.
It's one of the it's one of the weirdest.
Don't try this at
successful.
home, kids.
No, he's got some very particular play style and just methodology that makes this team work for him. But I don't think it applies well to the general public, and I think most people would fall flat on their face trying to pilot it the way he pilots it because he's got some magic juice that lets him make it work. But I would never try beyond. Obviously, Larry, I don't know that I would ever try any of this core that he has going on, but it's working. He's in the finals,
really well,
so
yeah.
Obviously he knows what he's doing with it.
So let's introduce the teams. Here on Black's side, we have the Mega Aerodactyl, we have the Rotom Heat, the Mew, Kartana, Suicune, and Hydreigon.
And then on A12 side, we've got the Grimmsnarl, the Jirachi, the Gyapdos, the Wizard, the Gliscor, and our favorite little cucumber out there, Larry.
Get into this. Well, we can talk about the matchup a little bit.
Yeah.
Looking at this, I would say that Kartana has a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
Like your Megazard wise, you're only switching. Like you've got decent enough removal with the Gliscor, so you can keep rocks off the field easily enough. You're kind of forced to run pretty spadef between the Hydreigon and the Rotom Heat.
Mm-hmm.
But Mew's probably going to be hazard spamming here. Or it doesn't have to hazard spam, it just needs to throw up rocks. That's the thing about the Megazard Y team, is you don't need spikes because you get a pretty good value out of just a rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at Larry in this matchup, I definitely would want to have like a rest set, like a rest recover set, just because that way you can shut down Suicune entirely.
Yeah,
there's no pressure for Suicune.
Setup Suicune doesn't really ever become a thing.
You just have to assume with Mega Aerodactyl, especially in a league where people understand what Larry is, you have to presume that the Aerodactyl is going to have dual wing beat.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, not taunt, not dual wing beat. It's going to have taunt and not necessarily dual wing beat. So it'll just shut Larry down, so Larry can't do anything to it, and then it can set up. So won't be surprised if Mega Aerodactyl has lots of answers for it, but Suicune doesn't have those answers. All it can do is try to Toxic it.
Yeah, if you can get Megazard Y in, it does quite a bit here.
Yeah, there's no safe answer to this.
Rotom can switch in, but it does technically have Ancient Power, but even then, the Flamethrowers are going to wear it down.
Yeah, it's rough.
And, it's got Solar Beam for Suicune, Dragon Pulse for the Dragon, and whatever you want for your last move.
Well, this is probably why
Mew Hurricane for the 50%.
True. This is probably why Mew does want to run Rocks though, because the team is pressured by Charizard a lot. But if you can keep Charizard from safely hitting the field because Rocks are on the field, then that's one of your better defensive mechanisms against that Mon. So would not be surprised.
I like the Grimmsnarl, and I'm kind of getting a newfound appreciation for the Mon after watching A12 use it, because in the lead up he's been using it offensively a lot. Like, it just kind of catches a hole because people aren't expecting it to be offensive.
Yeah,
like,
they just assume screens.
Screens, T-Wave, let's go.
But it's got like a 120 or something attack stat. Like it can smack, and you usually can go Adamant Nature if you're running offensive Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, so I like it. Let's see what he brings this week.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get into this. 3, 2, 1, go. So we have the Mew lead going up against the Gyaptos lead. Cool, yep, the
Yep.
immediate rocks.
Turn 1 rocks. Really the best possible lead off you can do because it just shuts down a threat. Seismitox Mew is
Seismitoss.
actually pretty great. It probably has taunt. Oh, it doesn't have taunt. Actually, quite surprised by that.
Okay. Okay, so we get the switch out.
Good a way to avoid Thunder Wave. I actually didn't realize Hydreigon had that move.
I had no idea either.
Um,
Good taunt. Could have been. Like it. Jirachi.
so this Meteor Beam, super cool, but
Little
not well
early.
timed.
A
Yeah,
little
and it
early.
has access to like Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam. Like it has the fairy
It
move it
has
could be
Dazzling
clicking
Gleam.
here. Yeah.
So if you get the KO though, like that would have broken the team. +1, spamming moves. Or the Rotom Heat comes in.
Yeah. I think you still just Dazzling Gleam, and then if
Yeah,
Rotom
he
Heat comes in,
Dazzling
then you
Gleam.
click Meteor Beam. So this needs a problem because there's more Stealth Rock PP than there is Defog PP. So
It's the point, you know.
yeah, and you can't do anything with Wizard with Mew healthy. So it's a tough spot to be in. I mean, the good news by being slower is you can. Oh,
Oh, Encore.
sorry, never mind about being slower. So the Encore Mew is actually pretty ridiculously effective here.
Yeah, you're stuck. You gotta. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
you
no
don't want to
answers to
lose all
this.
your PP on Glycerin. You got him to waste another on. It's only 8.
Yeah, it's true. So minimizing the amount of encores left is definitely crucial.
But Roost. Probably just U-turning though. Not Facade either.
It, I think he should be U-turning. But actually, never mind. I see what he's trying to do. He wants to get the toxic healing back, and so he doesn't want to U-turn and miss out on that. I don't know that I like the Jirachi sack here. I get it, but you don't always want to get Kartana to +1.
There's still
Although
rocks on
seeing
the field, so I don't think anything like that. This is the only thing that could switch in, and if you're not Scarf Zapdos,
true,
or you don't know Jirachi wasn't Scarf at the time, so it can't take 2 Leaf Blade.
oh, absolutely.
This is where you want enters out Larry and you sack it to the Jirachi, or you sack it to the Kartana.
Yeah.
Right. Good U-turn. It's just so hard to keep rocks off the field.
Absolutely. So Cortana comes in, which obviously is scary. Mew comes back.
Counter.
Not a
I mean,
bad click.
that would have done it.
Good toxic. Just to get Mew on a timer, because if you can defog and get Mew off the field, then that lets you get Wizard a little more active. We see our first ever mental
Oh.
herb, Larry. I do respect the play. Gets a really crucial recover in here. Good switch out to Gliscor so you can get that defog going, which I think is really the biggest play you can make right now, and accept that something's probably dying to this Kartana. Yep. I think that's the appropriate play.
Charizard, okay. Alright, yeah, I respect that.
Alright, so Charizard gets to... I think Charizard should stay there and click a move.
Probably would have died to
Yeah.
the...
An
now
unboosted
it definitely
return?
dies to the return.
Yeah, now it's GG's, I think.
Yeah.
Because Larry's not... For all the good Larry does, he's not stopping that. Under his kick.
Alright, yeah, it probably is. Scarf. Brave Bird.
I don't think Thunder's
think
kick
that...
does enough, or it's a roll. And yeah, it doesn't do enough. And then with Gyaptos
that's
gone,
gonna do
there's
it,
just
yeah.
nothing.
The Kartana.
There's...
Oof, one little misplay around Kartana.
It just... It just gets so much power and pressure. It's scary. Facade, interesting move. Not well positioned to do it yet because it's not paralyzed. Spirit Break, obviously not a bad idea to get its special attack down. But there's just not much to be done.
I mean the card.
Yeah. And there goes Grim. And then, in the cruelest of fates, to claim his championship, Black has to kill Larry.
How appropriate for Gary.
Yeah.
um, yeah, it just comes back to the. Maybe he was expecting the Rotom Heat to come in on a predict, but like that would have been.
Still though, you should outspeed.
That would have been. So like, good time to just get some chip on some other things until it's almost like a.
Exactly.
Kartana's never coming in on. You can't take any of the special attacks, even if this.
Yeah, like Orisaur just straight KOs it. So yeah, it's not coming in on when Hydreigon's on the field because you might click Orisaur on a Hydreigon. So like, yeah, I think that's probably the decisive turn. I know A12 acknowledged that as well, that the Jirachi not being effective and getting negated out of play was really unfortunate.
Conversely, if had things gone differently, smack it. Dragon goes down. That opens up the game a ton because then Jirachi's still healthy. Rotom Heat can't come in, or maybe Black does bring in the Rotom, pressure it out so you don't waste something.
Yeah.
And that could be
a game of what ifs.
Yeah. So, but that was really well done by Black, who just kind of stuck to his own game plan. He put so much pressure on with the moves, keeping the rocks up, and like his set just was scored really sad.
Yeah, because you could stop Gliscor from doing anything.
And it gave him chances to get Kartana. Every time Kartana came in, just click a button, like especially against the Gliscor, like something was gonna take massive damage. Eventually, sacks for it, like especially when you're at like +1. It's a tough game to play at that point. So congratulations, Black, for being our first Disciple champion, season 1. We'll see you in Master next season, where you can beat all of us there.
I mean, truly, like a very underrated coach that we did not expect to be as dominant as they were, because we knew a lot of the coaches in Disciple. Like we've come across plenty of them in other leagues. We knew right where their skill level was, but he was kind of a wild card, and we definitely undervalued some of his skill a bit because he dominated all season, dropping only one game in a 1-0 loss. Like he came to play and he showed his skill, and I'm really hoping to see him up in Master next season if he comes back for season 2.
Although, speaking of Master, let's get into our last match of the day. This is between you and Hoiku, but I don't want you to be our protagonist, so I'm actually going to switch the sides. So
that's totally fair.
On the left side, because no offense, but I kind of hate you, at least until this match.
I have no right to be here.
I mean, you do, in that you've won your playoff matches. So
I had no right to be in playoffs then.
That's a true argument. But all right, so let's go over this. Hoiku has had a pretty good season, not top seed, but he was kind of kicking up there with our top seed and had a chance for it last week before he got sick, and then lost that match, and maybe even before then he lost his chance at top seed, but he's still in the upper echelon. And then we have P McGee, who has 1 forfeit win and 3 regular season wins. Snuck into playoffs because I guess the door guard the bouncer was asleep, and then proceeded to like put on a show through playoffs, and you've actually played pretty well through playoffs. So.
It's been a. I mean, so my team is extraordinarily flawed. There's no doubt about that. Like I only have 9 Mons. I don't even bring Vikavolt or Frostless. So like basically it's these 6 Mons, and then I sometimes filter in. Who was the missing one? There's one other Mon I filter in a little bit, and that's basically the team is like 7 Mons. But I got a really fortunate playoff seeding or playoff run where I got to replay Sammy C, who I narrowly lost to at one point, so I was able to make adjustments. I got to play Cats, who I had a good matchup against, and then in finals, I get a chance to avenge against Huihu, who cheesed a win against me in week 1 with that ridiculous Calm Mind sub Mega Audino set.
That was great.
Uh, it was a great set, and I think if he brings it to finals, I get destroyed. I think probably would have been like a championship set, and I think it's unfortunate he spent it in week 1 because I would have loved to I would have loved to have got destroyed by that in finals. Just would have been such a quality win with that kind of mon, and I know it would have made Frandy pretty happy.
Well, let's see how this match goes.
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes.
Here on Huiku's side, we have the Talonflame, Gyaptos, the Tapu Koko, Bronzong, Rotom Wash, and Kyurem.
And then on my side, I think the only change here is he replaced. Maybe it's Bronzong. He replaced one Mon, or he replaced Mega Audino with one of these Mons. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
On my side, I have the Landorus Incarnate, the Mega Mawile, the Cinderace, the Umbreon, the Slowbro, and the Como. So a couple of change. These are the same 6 Mons I brought to the week 1 match against him. I did change a couple of things. In week 1, I had mixed Lando, but I went full physical Lando here, just because Rock Slide, Earthquake, U-turn knockoff was fairly effective. Gyaptos can come in on that, but Gyaptos doesn't really have an answer to Slowbro, and Slowbro can keep coming in on Gyaptos every time, especially if I knock it off and take away any sort of potential protective pad. So I don't pressure Gyaptos, but I don't really care all that much either because Gyaptos doesn't pressure Slowbro.
Right. Needs a bulk up and half health.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
And I think I added body press onto Slowbro as well to help pressure to deal with Kyurem a little bit in case Kyurem tried subbing on it and I thought it was going to sub, or if Audino comes again and tries subbing, I can body press that a little better, especially if it doesn't Mega Evolve. And I think that was it. I might have done something. I might have put Toxic on Umbreon or something like that. But by and large, I'm still trying the same stuff. Like I got Scarf Como again, sub Mega Mawile. I think it's the exact same Cinderace set. So I haven't changed my plan. If you rewatch the week 1 match, like I wasn't playing poorly and my prep wasn't doing badly. I just got wildly caught off guard by that Mega Audino set and kind of got destroyed by it. So I'm a little more aware of it in this matchup, but I didn't change my team too much.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's pop into this.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Still on. It's fine. So we have the Gyaptos lead going up against Slowbro, and you.
Yep.
Talonflame's pretty bold. Like, that could have easily been a Scald.
Oh, absolutely. I go for the sub here, expecting it to flee. It doesn't.
Still imagine this getting absolutely knocked by.
Yeah, pretty hard smacked. It does have enough health to survive the second one, which is pretty crucial because it gets Mega Mawile really low on health. I'm just going to keep spamming knockoff. I do have Heal Bell on Umbreon, so I'm not fearful.
You're worried about the Talonflame?
Yeah, because I can fix that if I feel like there's a chance to. I stay in because I was actually fine dying. But
yeah, that's really unfortunate. Now the Coco has like no and almost forced into that.
I'm AV Landorus, so I'm not afraid of Coco at all. And I'm Scarf Como with Boom Burst, so I can deal with Coco here.
That's a bad play. Like you switch in, so you're either a Berry or a Scarf.
Exactly, but there's no switch out unless you're gonna, risk Kyurem.
Rotom Wash.
Was it chipped yet? Maybe Rotom Wash would have been okay then.
I don't know. There's a chance though, like if you're a subset.
So I call the U-turn here, which is pretty crucial. So Mega Mawile goes back to full health.
Yeah, you're just kind of putting up pressure.
Yeah, it's just a lot of
Oh,
pressure on
Flare
Riku right now.
Blitz. Tell
I think I go for a
him.
Scald. No, I go for a. I don't expect
Yeah.
him to flare Blitz here because that wasn't the right click. So I got a safer
Yeah,
switch
wow.
into Mawile.
Wow. Yeah, now at this point, you're also just starting to outplay him.
Yeah, Rotom's gonna eat that. I'm gonna heal Bell here because I don't mind what Rotom does to me status wise because it gets hit with the synchronize. And I need the foul play for later in case Kyurem is like
A subset.
physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can break subs. I know this Gyarados is choice lock, so I'm kind of scouting with it, and I'm gonna let Slowbro come in and eat the U-turn.
Get that chip up.
More chip.
I'm surprised he's not going to Rotom here on Slowbro. The free
Yeah,
turn to do, but
I'm gonna go Como because it's not scared of, especially because it's not toxic. You know, this is a free clinging scales. There's not really any answers to that. I think you forced to go into Gyarados, who I'm not scared of. And one of the reasons I like Clanging Scale Scarf Como in this matchup is that if it is sub Kyurem, I can deal with that with Clanging Scales because that's a sound move.
yeah, it goes. All right, here's the Kyurem.
And it is Dragon Dance, which is
All right.
kind of scary. Freeze Dry terrifies me not because of the damage, but because of the freeze chance. Because we watched, what happened in Initiate, and I'm mortified of what might go wrong with hacks.
Yeah, but now he's Meteor and
No.
you protect just so you don't get crit. Game's done. He doesn't have enough mons to
No.
get the sweep. Gyaptos is too low to like crit his way through. Slowbro even.
Yeah. Because he can't do anything. U-turn brings him down to like 1%, 2%. Talonflame's gonna come in. I think I'm gonna Scald here because I'm not scared of this Talonflame. And that just KOs it outright. And then Gyaptos is gonna come in, and I think I'm just gonna
you just tank it. Like, it don't matter. Even if you were to die there, it doesn't matter.
And then I go Como because why not? So yeah, I had the right adjustments for a rematch, and I kind of was hinting at it during the lead off for this matchup where Huiku had a really great spicy set, but he used it in week 1 of regular season. And
yeah, I'm not too wowed by the Sword Stance Talonflame into a Slowbro either.
no, that just doesn't break Slowbro, and it has to basically U-turn on Slowbro every time because the Scald damage is just too much.
Yeah, that's called damage. Will do like 80 or 90. If it helps.
Yeah.
Talonflame has
So
bulk.
it's just a really tough one. I think he might have actually left Gyaptos in week 1 just because the Slowbro was such a menace to deal with, and he didn't want to deal with it, so he brought the Audino instead. But Gyaptos just didn't have a solution because it couldn't be pads. If it's pads, then it doesn't really do anything. It just U-turns a lot, and that's about it.
Yeah. It really needs something to speed or power.
Yeah, and it can't sit in and take attacks from Slowbro because if it happens to be Psychic or Ice Beam, then all of a sudden it's crippled with damage
Even
dealt to
Scald
it.
can cripple it.
Yeah, exactly. And Skull might even be safer because it could be a weakness policy set or something funky because that's Huiku has been known to do that with his Gyaptos where he gets actually quite interesting with some of the sets he runs. But all I don't want the differential to take away from the fact that Huiku played a great season. He had a good team. He had some interesting ideas for this matchup. I just think he was he needed to find a way to adjust from week 1, and he just didn't have a good alternative to the Mega Audino set.
Could have honestly just tried it again. What happens?
He might have gotten pretty far with it too.
Actually, I think this time you would have realized that
Umbreon rolls
can't
it,
actually break Umbreon.
Umbreon
plus 6 and it can't break an Umbreon. Like, what's happening?
And Draining Kiss is stab too. Like, it was actually pretty funny. So that, like I said, it was I think I ran speed on Mega Mawile this time too, just to get past speed tie situations. Yeah. So really great season of Hiku. I didn't deserve to make playoffs. I did perform pretty well in playoffs at least. So I made do with the opportunity that was provided to me, and
here you are,
unsurprising
cult
to
messiah.
anyone. Yeah, unsurprising Larry has blessed me with a new role, and I will guide us into season 2 until I am, fingers crossed until someone usurps me because
Oh, it'll happen. It'll
this
happen.
this is a very fraudulent Messiah right now.
So speaking of season 2, it's probably good enough time to talk about that. And that we have an off-season event coming up here. It's kind of low-tier stuff being run by Hoiku, and we got questions needed to him. Probably by the time you see this video, though, the signups will close or be about to close on them. So we're gonna try and get this out on the 3rd of June, and it's the day signups close. But there's no guarantee. There's a small chance this video comes out on the 4th of June.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be old news, but that's gonna run for about 8 weeks total. And as soon as that ends, we're gonna pop right into season 2. So be on the lookout for announcements related to that. We're really excited to bring you season 2. It's probably going to be the last one in Gen 8 before we just run LeChonk Madness.
I am excited to see what LeChonk evolves into.
No,
I am hearing
stop.
some I am hearing some glorious things about a flying pig, so we could mix up our rodent-ish Pokemon with
Let's
our
do it.
regional bird into one.
Yes,
And
yes,
so
actually,
I am
as long
all
as
for
it's
some
still,
of that theory.
as long as it's still stout and chunky.
Like I'm talking like little baby wings, like the tiniest little wings on the back of its body, and then the chonk still. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that, but I am looking forward to the rise of our pig overlord.
Me too. So that's all that we have. I want to give a special thanks to anyone who's kind of stuck with the content through all however many weeks the season is, and this is like the unofficial send-off to season 1. We are going to, I mean, there'll be like a big official post to close out season 1 in the Discord, but like this is gonna close out the content, and I'm really proud of everyone who was played in the league, and it makes me really happy to see how well a lot of y'all did. So hopefully everyone comes back for season 2. Love to have you, and we'll see you then. Got anything to say?
No, thank you all for hanging out with us for our videos in season 1. Thank you for everyone that participated in the league. We really enjoyed having you, and I am really, really hopeful we'll see many of you come back for season 2, or come hang out in our off season, or just stay active in the server, because we are continuing to grow, and we have some exciting plans for the future. So I'm hoping you're all going to stick around and see some of that develop.
Yeah, so we'll catch you all later. Peace.
Later.